Hello and thanks for checking out ChartGuys.com. We're proud to be one of the most successful technical analysis communities online, teaching you the skills to become a more confident, effective, and informed trader. Join our community of hundreds of analysts worldwide working together to learn the charts, generate profit, and achieve financial independence. For access to daily live chart analysis and market coverage, a thriving chat community, along with dozens of hours of exclusive educational materials. We look forward to seeing you. Let's check out some charts. Hello traders, checking in on the broader markets and S&P 500. More weakness today. There was a bounce to start the day. I personally did not play much to the upside as I did not like the setup. As I said in the video yesterday, I wanted a gap down open. We didn't get it. So if the trade does not come to me in the setup that I want, I trade it less aggressively or I don't trade it. The trade has to come to me for me to be aggressive. So we started the morning with a high of after hours at 315.21 and a high of pre-market right about 315. We then opened, broke that resistance level, and I said, all right, that's enough for me. Profit's really good on this trade. I locked in my SPXS swing position, and I am back to all cash, nice and comfortably sleeping in all cash. So it was a great trade from Thursday, ended up being about 16% or so, and today, I pretty much just traded short term. We had a great guide. I don't have it up on this chart, but the 20-period 5-minute moving average support. We had number one, the price uptrend, which was the bull break of pre-market levels, higher low, higher high, higher low. So we had a little 5-minute uptrend to start the day, but the entire morning, we knew we had not changed the hourly trend. We had bounced from 309 pre-market. At that point, we were up at 317, 318. We've now gone $8 or $9 with no hourly trend change. We do not trust the bulls unless they can follow through with trend changes on whatever time frame we're looking at if we're looking to change the trend. So we've been in an hourly downtrend for days. If we don't change the hourly trend, the bulls prove nothing to us. So we had a nice bounce. The 5-minute 20-period moving average support held all these levels, and then the 5-minute 20-period moving average resistance rejected all of these bounce attempts into the end of the day. We were in a 5-minute downtrend from here, lower high and lower low. That marked the change in momentum, hourly consolidation being underway, and then the 5-minute downtrend continued into the low of the day. So I personally entered bearish, top fishing the high of the day, sold a little bit too early on this dump, played the bounce, again selling a little bit too early, not nailing the bottom, not trying to nail the tops and bottoms as I scale in and scale out, just locking in little wins at this point. The big win was the swing trade. Now I'm back into day trader mindset, locking in little wins, and had one frustrating break-even stop out here just before the dump, but overall, a decent standard day. So where we stand, we had the low of pre-market, the high of the day, higher low formed at the end of the day, no bull follow-through. To change this trend, I have to see a hold of 309 and a break of 318. If we break 309, we're back in free fall. The daily RSI will get even more oversold, and the next level that we're looking at will be 307.13. I'm being picky here if I'm looking for a bounce. If you're looking 5-10 years out, it's different than if you're looking for just a bounce to a daily lower high. So again, you have to determine your game plan in advance. If I'm looking 5-10 years out, maybe making 1 out of 4 scale-in entries now, maybe I make another entry 5% lower, maybe another entry 5% lower. All depends on how aggressive or how conservative I want to be. Maybe I do it every 2% if I'm more aggressive. Shorts are still comfortable. Bears are comfortable. Until we change the hourly trend, there is nothing making bears want to cover. We'll be keeping an eye out for a volume climax candlestick to indicate a temporary bottom. But we dropped to lower lows today, and we closed weak near the low of the day. IWM, weak close 2 days in a row, closed near the low. Next support level that we're looking at, 153.47. It's actually 153.47, and then I would look at 151.45. But again, these price levels aren't as meaningful. When you enter a time frame of panic and high volume, previous price levels, while they're nice to keep an eye on, That's not, in my opinion, those aren't the levels where bounces are going to take place. IWM is not going to bounce off of support if the S&P 500 keeps dropping. So the previous price levels don't mean nearly as much to me in a situation like this. What matters are short-term levels, short-term trends, volume climaxes, and extreme indicators like RSI showing up. So as far as the hourly downtrend goes for IWM, anything under 158.49 is an hourly lower high, keeping the bears in complete control. QQQ held the low of yesterday. That's notable. It's a daily inside bar. Low of pre-market, high of today, higher low, have to break 220.28 to change the hourly trend and have the bounce show up on the daily time frame. If we don't change the hourly trend, we're not going to see any kind of daily bounce. Support is 214.90, 212.39. And if we see a bear break under these lows, we're then looking down at 212.24. Biggest takeaway out of the tech sector for me, Netflix, shining star. Weekly time frame, extremely bullish chart. Daily time frame, beautiful recovery. And just like that, looks like everybody's going to be watching Netflix while they're stuck at home hiding from viruses. Clorox bleach has also been up the last few days. Always interesting to see human psychology depicted in the stock market. XLF has been weaker than the tech sector. It's showing it again. Close at the low of the day. Daily RSI more beat up. 25 RSI on the daily versus QQQ. Its daily RSI is not oversold. Big difference. Day after day, we see that difference. Tech sector bounces more than the financial sector. Tech sector pulls back less than the financial sector. From here, there's a gap at 28.75 that filled, 28.47, and then 28.23 are the next two levels. Hourly downtrend is our guide. Anything under 29.22 is just a lower high. I forget if that's what I called our anti-FOMO position in yesterday's video. I know I said it recently, not sure if it was a live stream or what. Your anti-FOMO of missing the bounce is knowing that lower highs are likely depending on the scenario. If we start bouncing on XLF right now, I know that we're likely just going to form a lower high compared to 29.22. Healthcare sector also held the low of yesterday, but also a weak close. Hourly lower high has been set at 98.82. If 96.79 breaks, next daily level down at 95.67. XBI broke the low of yesterday, but only by a few pennies. Hourly lower high is set at 93.13. Also forgot to mention we got Trump talking in an hour and 15 minutes. We know he's only going to say bullish things to try and keep the market propped up. The last thing he wants to do is say something to make the market go down. But we also knew all day that he was going to be talking at 6 p.m. Eastern. So the market prices that in to a certain degree. People that say, oh, I want to hold overnight because Trump's going to say bullish stuff, they have already bought. So that means the people left to buy once Trump actually says bullish stuff, there's less. SMH, inside bar, but a weak close. So some names held their low of yesterday. Bulls have to hold 134.21 and break 138.25 to change the hourly trend. And the VIX holding on with the daily inside bar. Hourly uptrend, I would call that still intact. We would have to lose 24.80 support to change that. So overall, the time frames that I care most about, are we in a weekly uptrend? Are we in an hourly downtrend? If we change the hourly trend, the daily bounce is underway, we zoom out to the daily, we look for a daily lower high to be set. If we don't change the hourly trend, bulls prove absolutely nothing to us, and keep reminding yourself we can always see another leg down. I saw more than one example on Twitter of people blowing up their accounts. It can always go further than you anticipate. You have to be using stop losses or you are risking blowing up your account. Gold, daily inside bar, 4-hour time frame, and is in a nice tightening range. We've got our low of consolidation, high of the bounce, double bottom, lower high. So we're looking for this range. Ideally, it'll stay nice and tight until tomorrow and break tomorrow So miners can have a good chance to react to it. If it breaks bullish, our daily high or low is set at 1625. If it breaks bearish, daily 12-period exponential support will be tested right below it. Silver continues to be weaker. Look at the 4-hour time frame. Lower highs and lower lows, no tightening range. XAU, XAG is in big time breakout mode, showing us gold has been blowing silver out of the water in bullish strength over the last few days. And it's a higher ratio of gold strength versus silver than we've seen in the last 7 months. Miners, daily 12-period exponential support trying to hold. Hourly RSI, not quite oversold. We got close. Have to see an hourly trend change. Bulls need to hold 34.70 and break 36.87 to change the hourly trend and set the daily high or low. Worth scouting for bull miners to give us a daily high or low soon. Oil, weekly bear flag confirmed. Bearish reaction to the oil inventory report. That's only going to help the market bears. Oil and the markets are often correlated to each other. So 49.41 breaking opens us up to an area with a lack of support. At this point, we're looking at 48.15 and 46.67. And we know that when we do bounce, anything under 54.45 is just a daily lower high on oil. Natural gas, that hourly bounce that did not change the trend, faded all the way back down. Another big bounce, faded all the way back down. I will have to see a weekly trend change to trust the natural gas bulls, because it's been years now of every move on shorter term time frames just getting squashed with fake outs and just bare strength. So the only support from here is 180 and 1758. Inventory report tomorrow. So we'll see what Trump says. We'll see how the futures market responds to it. We're watching hourly downtrends as our short-term guide. We're taking it one day at a time. People are talking about what's the reason for the market pullback. Is it because we were so overextended? Is it because the coronavirus? Is it because Bernie is gaining in the polls? My answer is I don't care at all what the reason is. Treat it like its own separate entity where price action on a daily basis is all that matters. If the reason that the market is going down is because, I don't know, can't even come up with an example. Price action dictates everything. Keep that mindset. Why is the least important question that I ask as a trader? Thanks for tuning in. Hope you're having a good day. Don't forget to do good things out there. Little check-in here on the property. We've got those who remember the ducks who were thriving 8 months ago. Lots of content from ducks. Hopefully that's going to return again. We had one of the female babies who's all grown up come back with a mallard with his big green head. And they've been coming back maybe once every month or two for the last few months, scoping things out. And she has been distrustful of me. But today I went out and opened the door and did the whole routine like I normally do and called out. So she came out of the water. He followed her. They came up to the driveway. I gave him some duck food. Not crappy bread, but actual duck food. And he started to gain some trust. And I felt a connection with him. He was making eye contact with me, and he was scoping the sky, looking for hawks. And then I made sure that he saw that I was looking up at the sky as well. And I knew that he knew that I was looking at the same thing he was. And then a hawk came. Didn't dive at him or anything, but it was calling out and flying around in the air. So they booked it and flew back from the driveway to the pond. And we should have babies probably in 2 to 2.5 months. Looking forward to it. See you next time.